Rockstar Games have just released Grand Theft Auto 6 Trailer 2 along with an entire newswire post featuring 70 new screenshots and 8 short videos. With this massive info dump, we've been able to get a better understanding of not just the state of Leonida, but the people that live there, including the two main protagonists and some of the side characters. In this video, we'll be diving into the characters of Grand Theft Auto 6. We'll be starting with one of the main protagonists, Jason Duval. Much like many of the other protagonists in GTA, Jason had a rough upbringing and grew up around grifters and crooks. To better himself, Jason enlisted in the army to try and distance himself from the life of crime, but that stint was short-lived. Jason ended up working for Heder, a local drug runner moving product through his boatyard in the Leonida Keys alongside one of his closest friends, Hampton, who we'll talk about in a little bit. In the introduction to the trailer, Brian arrives at Jason's house while he's seen doing repairs on the roof, with Brian telling him to go and pick up checks from one of the properties he manages. Interestingly, the house that Jason lives in is actually one of Brian's, who's letting him live there rent-free so long as he helps with local shakedowns. Jason appears to be the muscle working for Brian and is probably one of his most respected employees. He's even seen again loading product into an aircraft at the boatyard. Jason is well known in the area by the locals, as they can be heard calling his name out as he drives by. He's clearly a ladies' man, turning the heads of everyone he walks past and even attracting the attention of women while he works out at the beach. Jason has found himself wanting more, leaving him to want to try something new, as he's got bigger plans than just doing drug runs and collecting checks for Brian. That's when we are introduced to Lucia Caminos. Raised in Liberty City, Lucia was taught by her father to fight as soon as she could walk, but fighting for her family ended up with her behind bars at the Leonida Penitentiary. During her time here, Lucia learned her lesson and was determined to give her mother the life she had always dreamed of by taking matters into her own hands. Given that her father isn't mentioned in those dreams, I can only speculate that he's no longer alive, and the golden boxing glove necklace Lucia wears is likely a gift from her father, which would serve as a reminder of him. As Lucia gets released from prison, she's met by her boyfriend Jason Duval, and the pair head back home. It's unknown how long the two have been together for, but it's very clear that they've got a strong bond between them. Lucia's mother doesn't appear in the trailer, but I do think she has a sister. In the first trailer, when Lucia is in prison, there's a photo inside of her cell which looks like a photo of her family. This includes herself, her mother, father, and another woman who appears to be similar in age. Now, take what I say with a grain of salt, because I don't see anyone else talking about it, so I could be very wrong. The person shown at the bar with Jason and Lucia appears to bear a very strong resemblance to Lucia with similar facial features. This could just be one of their close friends, but it's hard to look past the similarities. Another detail that I spotted that could get me cancelled here, so I've asked my partner for her input, but this character to us appears to be pregnant. This would be the first time that we are seeing a pregnant woman in GTA. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if she is Lucia's sister and she is pregnant, then that means that Lucia is going to be an auntie to a little niece or nephew. If I'm wrong and she's not actually pregnant, then I look like the biggest idiot fat shaming women in a video game, so please accept my apology. Since being released from prison, Lucia seems committed to her plan, and a life with Jason could be her way out. They both know that the odds were never in their favor, but after an easy score goes wrong, they find themselves in the middle of a criminal conspiracy spanning across the entire state of Leonida. The only way they can make it out alive is by sticking together. Moving on to Brian Heder, who is the person we see talking to Jason at the beginning of the trailer. Brian is a classic drug runner from the golden age of smuggling in the Keys and owns and operates Brian's Boatworks and Marina, which serves as a business front to their drug smuggling operations located in the Leonida Keys. Brian runs this business with his third wife, Laurie, but he's been around long enough to let others do his dirty work. This includes Jason and Hampton, who we'll talk about next. Throughout the story, it looks like Brian is the type of person that Jason can go to if things start to get messy. As seen in one of the shots, Brian can be heard telling Jason that they've got your name and address, they've got everything, which is likely after Jason finds himself in trouble and goes to Brian for help. There's not too much that we can go off for Brian, but I can't wait to see where this character takes us in the game. Up next, we have Jason's friend Hampton. Cal works at Brian's Boatworks and Marina alongside Jason, which is likely where the pair met. While Jason is looking to climb the ladder, Cal's not exactly chasing ambition. He's the kind of guy who feels safest at home, tuned into the Coast Guard comms with a beer in hand and his browser set to incognito. Much like Ron from GTA 5, he seems to be into his crazy conspiracy theories, with him saying there are too many birds flying around in perfect formation. Cal is seen helping Jason load product into a plane, showing he's still active in Brian's operation, but he's not all business. He shares more laid-back moments with Jason and Lucia, from grabbing drinks to shooting hoops, playing pool, and even fishing together. In one scene, he even begs Jason to introduce him to some of his friends. The bond between the pair is obvious, and it's somewhat reminiscent of Franklin and Lamar from GTA 5, so it's nice to see that we'll be getting a best friend type of character because we all know that they bring some of the funniest moments within the series. While his friend Jason has bigger plans, Cal is pretty comfortable with where he's at. Next up, we have Boobie Ike, a local Vice City legend. Boobie is one of the few who were able to turn a life in the streets into a full-blown empire, spanning real estate, a strip club, and a recording studio. It's clear that he's been able to make a name for himself. He's always got a smile on his face, but when it's time to talk business, Boobie doesn't play around. As he puts it, the club money pays for the studio and the drug money pays for it all. That tells you everything that you need to know about how things really run behind the scenes. While Boobie might seem like he's only in it for himself, he's most invested in his partnership with Only Raw Records, and they just need to make a hit song. DreQuan Priest is the manager of Only Raw Records, and as mentioned earlier, Only Raw Records is currently in partnership with Boobie Ike, who we know owns a recording studio and is currently investing in the label. Judging by the tattoo on his right hand, Dre was born in 1998, making him roughly 27 years old. Dre has always been more of a hustler than a gangster, and during his youth, Dre had to turn to dealing on the streets just to make ends meet, but his goal has always been to break into the music scene, and it seems like he is doing just that as he's recently signed the Real Dimes to Only Raw Records. He's come a long way from dealing on the streets to booking acts for Boobie at the Jack of Hearts, with him now setting sights on the Vice City scene. Real Dimes is a rap duet featuring two high school friends, Bay Lux and Roxy. The pair have been able to make a name for themselves with the success of a hit single with a local rapper, Downplay, which saw the pair skyrocket to fame. 5 years later, they've found themselves in a bit of trouble, hoping that signing to Only Raw Records can take them even further. These are the same two girls that were first spotted dancing on top of a car in the first trailer in their relentless pursuit of internet fame. The final character is Raul Bautisa. Raul is a seasoned bank robber, always on the hunt for talent, ready to take on the risks that bring the biggest rewards. Raul is one of the characters I'm most excited to get to know because the way they've presented him makes me question what type of role he's going to play. We can see that he takes part in the Sinfintera National Bank heist alongside Jason and Lucia. Assuming that he is the man in charge of the operation, it seems like he's the type to turn his backs on the pair, with a quote saying, "Life is full of surprises, my friend. I think we'd all be wise to remember that." Raul's recklessness raises the stakes with every score. Sooner or later, his crew will have to double down or pull their chips from the table. Could this possibly be alluding to him turning on Jason and Lucia at some point in the game? He's definitely one of the more mysterious characters, so I'm curious to see where the story goes with him. We'll be diving into more GTA 6 news and information, so if you'd like to be a part of that, then make sure you join my Discord server. I'll leave a link in the description below. If you did enjoy the video, then be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.